Hi there. Did you know that your golf game can change your life? Well, it changed my life. And for the last 30 years, I've been using golf as a vehicle to help create champions of their golf and their lives, empowering golfers to own their games and own their lives. I'm Martha Sue. I'm an LPGA teaching pro. I'm the founder of Bionic Golf Pro and the creator of the Empowered Golfers Formula. And for the next few minutes, I'd just like to share my golf journey with you. You know, I had never hit a golf ball until I was 24 years old. I know that may sound funny, and I had a lot of catching up to do, but this is true. I was expecting my second baby, and a neighbor said, "Let's go out and play." And I said, "I don't have golf clubs." And she said, "You can use my husband's." Like, okay. So we walked and pulled carts, and I used her husband's clubs. And, none of my balls got off the ground. It's like all of them. And I learned that day there's a name for that, and it's called worm burners. But I learned to become familiar with worm burners. But there was one shot, just one shot. I hit this shot and it went up and climbed up in the air, and I actually turned and looked behind me to see if somebody hit a shot over my head. It's like, because I couldn't believe I could hit a ball like that. But I wanted to hit another shot, and I wanted to hit another shot because I wanted to see if I could hit another good shot. And that's really what it's about. Have you ever felt that way? Wishing and hoping for a good shot or for a better result in your life? We can wish and hope. I learned that I could hit the ball a long way. It's like I could hit the ball a really long way, but it might go way left and it might go way right. That's called army golf. There's another name for that. And I actually just pretended to play golf at that point in my life. I say this because I would rush out, play 9 holes, and in my schedule, I had an infant, a newborn, and a 2-year-old, and it was really kind of like mom's day out. It just gave me a chance to be with some other adults, have some adult conversation, which was really great. At that point in my life, that was kind of what I needed. Have you ever felt like golf was something that you wanted to do, but you had to just try to squeeze it into your busy schedule? By doing that, did you ever feel shortchanged? Maybe like you weren't playing up to your potential? Well, I was blessed to be able to cut my teeth on playing golf at Colonial Country Club in Fort Worth, Texas. Oh my gosh. Each year, I would watch the PGA pros when they would come in to play in the PGA tournament. And I wanted to hit shots like they hit shots. You see, they were so sure of each shot, and you could tell that. But I watched them so close for a whole week. Every year, once a year, I watched them, and I wanted to hit the ball like they did. I couldn't, but I had no idea what to call the attitude that I witnessed, because it was really such a big difference from what I experienced. Each year following the tournament, I would pretend to play golf more often. Now, what that means is that I would go play more rounds, not practice. I would go play more rounds of golf and hope that I would improve. Okay, that, my golfing friends, is the definition of insanity. And yes, you heard that right. It does apply to golf, just like it does to any action in your life. You keep repeating the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, you're crazy. That is the definition of insanity. So it's a definition of golf insanity just as well. You see, I pretended to play golf for several more years, and one day I said, enough. There was too much time and money spent and not enough return of satisfaction. You see, You know, in the business world, you're probably familiar with this, and it's called a return on your investment, an ROI. You see, I invested a lot of time and money, but I didn't invest in my commitment in myself. I made my decision and I announced to my family and to the people I played golf with that I'm going to get really good or I'm going to quit. I'm tired of this. Did you ever want something so badly that you were willing to do whatever it took to make a change? Well, I was ready and I was hungry and I did everything that was asked of me to do to work with a new golf pro at the club. I said, I'm in. He said he would own me for 6 weeks, and he did. I committed to a 6-week program of no playing. Remember, I had pretended to play golf for years. So for 6 weeks, I was not allowed to play golf, but only to practice. I worked 8 hours a day, 6 days a week for my 6-week commitment. I took my kids to school, and then I would pick them up at the end of the school day at 3:30. So I worked every day, 5 days a week while the kids were at school, and on Saturday, then I practiced and played probably longer than 8 hours. But I was committed like I'd never been committed before. My daily practice was grueling, and that's honest. First, I hit 1,000 to 1,500 balls on the driving range, practicing drills. And then I would go to the chipping green and I practiced hitting shots onto the green. I practiced hitting from under the trees. I practiced hitting from over the trees. I practiced every possible shot that I could figure out that might come up in a golf game. I had blisters on every finger. I got tape and I wrapped each finger so that I could still put gloves on both hands and continue to practice. You see, I was committed to reach my goal of being really good in that 6 weeks, because if the truth were known, I really didn't want to quit. That really was not what I wanted. 6 weeks out from when I started, my coach cut me loose and said I could play in a member guest with a golfing friend. And I did. I announced on that tee, the first tee for us, that I didn't want to know any totals and that I would announce my score as I walked off the green. I would tell them what I shot. I apologized on the first tee before my first shot because I had absolutely no idea what was going to happen that day. You see, I'd been practicing all these shots, but it was the first time I was putting them together for me to be able to start a hole and finish a hole. All those shots in between, I had to put them together to make it work. And I didn't have any idea if that would work or not. But that day, I was in that zone that golfers talk about. That's all I can say because it all worked. All those practice shots, they went together, but while I was playing. Before the 6 weeks training, I'd been shooting an average of 95 strokes. Well, that's pretty sad, but actually that's the average score for most novice golfers. They don't break 100. And on our 18th green, my friend who was keeping score said, "Oh my gosh, you know, if you sink this putt, you're going to have a 77." And I immediately came back to life. Reality sunk in, and I said, I've never been able to break 90. How in the world can I break 80? And I immediately 3-putted. So, sad. It was still great. I dropped 15 strokes in one round in that one day, and I kept working. So, my handicap, which was a 23 when I started that 6-week program, it dropped from a 23 to a 16 by the end of the summer, and I dropped to a 9 by Christmas, and that was 7 months of continued practice later. Then it took me another year to drop from the 9 to a 7 handicap. It took me another year to drop to a 4. So that was 3 years of hard work on creating my golf game. and my new career. You see, golf dreams really can come true. And I turned pro at that point and began helping others reach success in their games and in their lives. However, I quickly realized that what I'd been doing to improve my own game was not duplicatable, and it was certainly not easy. I had proven that. Unless someone wanted to turn pro like me, they would never have done the work that I'd done to get really good. And I realized that the lessons that I had prior to my 6-week training, as I've said before, they went in one ear and out the other because I didn't understand what they were talking about. I truly realized the benefit of repetitive drills because what happened was that I wasn't thinking. I was doing. I was repeating what I'd been asked to do. So I didn't think. It became a habit. I was repeating the motion and learning the results that my own swing could achieve. So in working with my students, I observed a pattern of responses and results. No matter if the student had a physical challenge or if they just had a bad hair day about not understanding golf, you know, and that's real. That is a real issue. It was the repeatable pattern of results that led to the creation of my teaching system. Through trial and error, I came up with life metaphors that everyone could understand, and then they could relate to it, and then they could apply it to their golf swing. It was amazing to watch the results. And they began to understand golf, and they didn't fear it anymore. How cool is that? I learned that creating a series of drills centered on using life metaphors with positive input created a habit of success. I also learned that the time required to do focused practicing was only 1.5 to 2 hours a week. That was a big aha to me. I learned that if you practice only what you're asked to practice, you eliminate the confusing question of, what should I practice today? And you create focused success. What I've discovered is that improving your golf game and leveraging those lessons back into your own life isn't difficult as long as you know the right process to follow. That means doing the right things at the right time and not earlier. It is a process. What a huge difference from my practice work, and it was work, of 40 to 50 hours a week. Now go figure. 1.5 to 2 hours a week versus 40 to 50 hours a week. Golf is a foreign language. And in order to understand it, I had to translate it into bite-sized pieces that my students could understand and claim as their own so that they could take ownership of their games with an end result of them owning their lives. Funny how that happens. My students became empowered to be better golfers and have more fun. However, the byproduct benefit of this additional changes experienced in their lives. Oh my gosh, they developed happier relationships in their families, with their spouses, with their kids. You know, it even was with their friends and their coworkers, their bosses. That was a really cool observation. They had a shift in their attitude, and it started with their golf drills combined with their positive input of their happy word, because you have to come up with a happy word when you work with me. And they're achieving new, repeatable results while practicing and playing. They learned they could trust. That's really what it's about. They could trust their actions to give them similar results with their club, with each shot. Trust is a big factor here. Together, we had created a simple to understand and easy to use system that didn't hurt their bodies like the hard training that I'd gone through to create a golf game. Now, that's success, right? And what I observed from the success of my golf students was their newfound feeling of self-confidence, both in their games and in their lives. I call this golf confidence. It took me years to realize that the attitude I had observed in those PGA pros playing at the tournament every year was golf confidence. They knew that they could trust the result of each shot because they had practiced each shot over and over and over. They knew the result. They could count on it. It was a matter of just determining which club they wanted to use to get it. So when they picked up that club, there was a level of trust in their own game. And they never doubted the success of that shot. Do they make all of them? No. But the doubt was removed, and that's where they have a level of success that we have to want to have. Will you ever turn pro? I don't know. I don't know. You might. But will you have a different game that you own? Yes. How would it make you feel to have golf confidence? What would that feel like to you? What would it be worth? But also, what would it be worth to the people around you? Because if your life's different, they see you as a different person. Where would you want to be in the next 3 years of creating a golf game? And actually a different attitude. And all that comes with both of those things. Would travel to play golf anywhere in the world be more fun? Would you feel like you'd be worthy of investing the $550 or whatever it would be at that point to go and play at Pebble Beach? Check that off your bucket list. Play it because you could. What if this game that you'd be creating could be the solution to your 6-figure income problem? Would new golf connections lead to more business in your day job? Would a new client for your business be valuable to you? Or, what's a new client worth to you if you own your own business? Have you ever thought of how you could use golf as a tool to build your income in your existing business? Or, gosh, even in creating a new business that you would love? Gosh, would you have fun creating a great side business and just sharing simple and fun golf? That's a possibility. Please click on the link below to enroll and start your own journey to becoming an empowered golfer. I'd love to know where you are today in your own golf game and where you want to be in 3 years. It's that simple. You see, you're only a decision away from learning how golf can change your life, just like it has mine and hundreds of others who've learned and applied the simple system to become empowered golfers. And by leveraging those same lessons into your personal life, how you can overcome your own demons, you can face down your hazards, and keep hitting that ball over and over and over until you accomplish what you never thought you could before. Own your game and your life. Let's play.